Carla, aka Cila da Poet. I have a little bit of basically us. I realize in the world we need called persistence. We need something called endurance. You know, the world that we live in, there's a lot of trouble in the world. There's always something going on, and you know, there are a lot of traumatic things. There's tragedies, there's wars, there's catastrophes, there's all manner of trouble. There's racism, there's violence, there's murders, there's, stress at work. Um, there's all types of things and all types of life circumstances that people are dealing with. You have a situation now with migrants, that are coming into the country, and they're trying to find a better life for, I guess, their families. They're fleeing from the craziness that's in, I guess, their countries. But then you have the people here that are also in need. We have people that the job doesn't make enough money to make ends meet. And sometimes people have to work more than one job. They might have to work 2 and 3 jobs just to be able to pay the rent and put food on the table. And, the services that some people get, the citizens are just kind of, you know, frustrated because, they want access to services as well. So it's just, it's a deep state of affairs out there. And, there's a lot of tension. And then, you have another election year that may be coming soon, with the prospect of a man that once was president who's trying to run again, who will remain nameless. But he's trying to basically get back on the ballot, and a lot of people in the country do not want this man in power. So we don't know what's going to happen from one day to the next in this world. Right now we basically have AI that's starting to, be created and take over certain jobs. And we have a lot of technology. And as connected as people are in technology, they're very disconnected when it comes to socialization, relationships, and healthy socialization of making relationships or friendships or acquaintanceships or even partnerships or business, what's the word? Business co-working, very, very difficult. You would think that as connected as we are in our technological world, we would be able to have more friends, have healthier and better relationships. And that's not what we have here. We have a lot of difficulties in our world. We have a lot of situations that people don't know how to handle. And, there are some people who the stress and the weight is a lot. You have to deal with the expectations of society, the expectations of your family, the expectations of your children, if you have any. You have to deal with sometimes trauma. If you were abused as a child or you were abused, sometimes you have to deal with the negative voices from your abuser in your head. There's a lot of different things that people are struggling with. There's homelessness, there's, unstable economic situations. There's, people who may have lost everything because of a fire. There's so many different situations that people can be in daily, and we all need some type of anchor, some type of encouragement, some type of perseverance. And so the question is, how do we all persevere? My reason for perseverance is faith. I believe in God. I believe his name is Yahweh. I believe he sent his son, Jesus Christ, to die for all of our sins. And I believe that, I walk by faith and not by sight. Now, my faith is not that strong. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a perfect Christian, because I'm not. I'm somebody who has a lot of questions. I even have some skepticisms when it comes to certain things. But I stand firm that I believe that there is a God, and I believe that there is a judgment, and we all have to be responsible for the way we live our lives, the choices we make, and there will be consequences for the way that we lived while we were here. I believe that's just the nature of life. For every action, there's a reaction, and I believe that is biblical. Every man or every woman will reap what they sow. So what is it that causes you to persevere? What is your motivation? What is the thing that makes you get up in the morning, put on your clothes, go to work? What are the things that, even though life may bring you curveballs, trials, tribulations per se, what is it that makes you keep on going? Well, whatever that thing is, I hope and pray that you focus on it and stay anchored. My anchor, like I said, is my faith in believing that there's a God, believing that there's someone above all of this and all the things that are happening, and that there are reasons why these things happen, and we're basically here to learn, I guess, from it. Or there are mysteries. I can't explain everything that happens, but there are reasons why everything happened, and it's our job to just learn from it, and to persist and persevere and endure. But you always got to look for the lesson. You always got to look for the lesson. We as people, we never ever stop learning. So I'm just glad to be home, and I'm about to get ready to relax. But I just thought, like I said, that I would check in with everybody. I hope everybody is keeping the faith, keeping their head up, and staying persistent, persevering, and finding a way to endure. One of my favorite books in the Bible is Psalms, because I could relate to the writer of the Psalms. David wrote some of them, and I think some other people wrote others, but I can relate a lot to some of the prayers that he prays, especially when it comes to anger at enemies and stuff like that. I can relate to it, and some of the questions, that I guess the psalmist asks. There's times where I've asked, questions like that. But yeah, so anyway, so happy midweek or hump day or whatever other people call it. And I hope that, like I said, everybody keeps the faith and they stay strong, stay prayed up, and, stay anchored in that motivation that helps you to endure and to persevere. All right. So there'll be new content coming soon. And that's it for now. Peace.